What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in the crew beta. Now, I've switched the face cam to the other side of the screen just to see if you guys like that better. I don't know which one I prefer yet, but we'll see as we go along. Now, as far as I said in the last video, I said we'd check out the car dealer again and just see if there was anything else available to us there. So let's go ahead and jump back all the way back to Chicago. Actually, no, not to Chicago, to Detroit. And from Detroit, let's check out the car dealer and see what we have available to us. I see a 300C SRT8. Let's see. So we've got a couple more cars that we can choose from. Now, we've obviously got the Camaro SS that we saw earlier, or that we got at the beginning of the game, that we got, you know, a choice. We've also got the SRT8 392. We've got the Mustang GT. We've got now the 300C SRT8. The 370Z, which we already own. The Golf GTI. The... Oh, wow. Dang, I need to get that out of the screen. There, go away. The Chevrolet Impala Sports Sedan from 1967. That looks pretty sweet. We've also got the 67 GT500, and if it would actually go farther, which I don't think it wouldn't scroll farther. It said I had 10 cars to choose from, but it would only let me go to 8, which is weird. Look, you go to 8, and then I'm trying to scroll, and it won't let me scroll. So let's not mess around with that any longer if we don't have to. Now, there we go. Okay, I was actually thinking about buying the Mustang GT just to kind of have a different sort of car because I have the 370Z. I've been using it for a few episodes, and I was thinking about getting the Mustang GT and sort of having something different. So we have our tuner, and then we also have our muscle car. Or I could be really different and take a 300C SRT8, which, like I said, is kind of different. But I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm gonna go with the Mustang GT though. Let's test drive it first and see if I actually like it. Because if it just doesn't drive well at all, then we'll pass it up. But this will actually be a good opportunity just to see how the physics are different, or how different they are for each car. Because sometimes in some arcade racers they're not that different at all, and some they're very different. And go! Shifts really slow. I mean, I'm shifting it myself, but the shifts happen really slowly. That's weird how your course, like, your test drive has a course. That's kind of odd. Ooh, not even the e-brake would have helped us out there. That was bad. I do like the sound of it, though, and also, it does actually feel different than the 370. I was kind of skeptical as to whether it would or not. I was actually excited just to see, and it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel very similar, which is a good thing. It feels quite different. Let's actually switch to the interior view and see how that is. Nice and detailed, and like I said, it feels a lot heavier, obviously, than the 370Z. And, I mean, it feels like a proper muscle car. It feels like they did a good job working out the handling characteristics for the car. And, actually, though, if you can see, the driver's hand goes down just as he's about to shift. And shift. So, it's actually a really cool mechanic that they've worked into that. And I wish that more cars in the game had that actual stick shift option. But, unfortunately, for example, the 370Z is a paddle-shifted auto instead of a manual. So unfortunately, you don't get the shifting animation, you just get the paddle animation, which is, it's okay, but it just depends on what you're, on what you're looking for. And I'm kind of done with the test drive. Is there any way to, oh, there we go, abort test drive, okay. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to pick up the Mustang GT and see where we can go from there, because I'll take it to the customization shop and see if we can do anything to it without getting kicked out of the game. Because if we get kicked out of the game again, I'd be kind of mad. The configuration changed on the Camaro, but not really that much on the Mustang. We have officially just bought a new car, guys. Alright, not bad. Yes, I'm sure I want to exit. And then, like I said, from here, we'll make our way over to the tuner, or tuning shop, and see what we can do to it, and hopefully we can actually do a decent amount of stuff to it. Oh, wait, never mind, I turned the voices off. Oh yeah, it'll spin. It'll spin without issues. Now let's bring up the map and fast travel to the tuning shop. Once it loads, there we go. And enter. I don't understand what the point is of fast traveling to a location if you could just enter it anyway from the map. Like, why would you fast travel to the outside if you were gonna already enter it? Just seems kind of weird to me anyway. Alright, now, wait, no, I don't want to select a kit. I want to customize it. I guess I have to purchase a starter kit. Okay. Yes, I'll take the starter kit. Did it kick us out? No, okay, it just gives us a screen. Oh, okay, not bad. Gives us a couple of body modifications, and I think from there we'll be able to change the color and stuff like that. Tune your car. And, okay, cool. Now, let's see. Visual, performance. We'll do performance a little bit later. But right now I want to change the color to a anodized... Actually, let's go with an iridescent... Wow. That is a really cool color shift. Oh my god. Actually, never mind. We can't really pick one of those up. As far as, like, the pricing goes for that right now, anyway. Metallic red should work fine for now. And then for our stickers, I don't know how, this is gonna work. Let's see. Flames, no. Gothic and Tribal, no. I'm moving away from my camera. Let's see. Racing, there we go. Stripes, absolutely. There, that's the view I wanted. Let me go back real quick and just see if... I like those big, like, just giant stripes, though. They look good. In my opinion, anyway. Let's see what we can do to the interior. Mixed carbon. See if we can do a mixed carbon on red, if we can find an even, a configuration with even more red in it. Oh, wow, that is a crazy-looking configuration. We're going with that. That is crazy. And for wheels, definitely want to change the wheels. And actually... Oh god, the game just froze. Never mind, it didn't freeze. We're good. I like those a lot. Let's actually... Never mind. I want to find something of a certain style, and I know the style I'm thinking of, but I don't know where to go to find it. Those don't look too bad, actually. Let me go back a little bit, because those actually don't look too bad. I'm going to go with those. And for the rear wing... Hold on, I didn't choose yet, game. I'm only actually really feeling that one. I like that one a lot. That one looks nice. I think it's ready to go right now. I think it's perfectly fine, ready to go. I just want to see if we can actually drive out of the garage without getting in it. Damn it! Okay, apparently the beta hates car customization. I don't know why. They'll let you buy cars, they'll let you do races. Oh my god. We're gonna go through this again, I guess. I'll be back with you guys when I get through the... There we go. Maybe I won't have to edit that bit out at all anyway. Yeah, we're back. I don't know if we actually have the car. No, it looks like we do. Okay. Back. Then just see if it'll just load us into the game from here. You can see on the map, like, as we go along, I just pointed at my screen. I don't know why I did that. You can see on the map, though, the route we took is, like, the only unlocked area of the map, and yet I could hear my Steam going off like crazy. I completely forgot to turn that off. But, let's go ahead and get out of the map. Get out of the map. There we go. Okay, so we're back in our Mustang GT, and what we're going to do from here is go back to the map and see if I can find my area. Because it would be right around here, right where the map cursor is. So, okay, so there's Nashville, or at least that's where they put Nashville. They don't really... Do they even include Atlanta in this game? I don't think they do. At least... What the heck? Maybe we'd better start actually driving as soon as possible, because we've just had another error, apparently. And I couldn't really even find my area. I was trying to find at least a city that I knew from Georgia, and I didn't really find a reference point. So we've got, yeah, we don't really have any kind of reference point, which is kind of but actually, though, no, they don't really have that. They don't really have that road either. I mean, we could set a waypoint for Nashville and just see what happens, but or we could go more in this direction, or we could either go down here and do the actual story. But who cares about that? Let's actually just take a road trip to the Miami area and see I don't know, see what happens. And our waypoint will be set for the Sebring International Raceway. And we will mark it right on the road there. Set waypoint. So, pretty long distance, but it should be a fun drive, actually. We'll be able to see a lot of different areas of the map, that's for sure. And oh, come on. There we go. Into the interior view. This car is definitely suited more to a road trip like this, where we're going to be taking the highway a lot, I think, rather than the 370Z, which was definitely more suited to the mountain driving that we did earlier. Oh god, construction. That truck's floating. Just something to be noted. Oh god, I missed my turn. I got obsessed with the nitrous and missed my turn entirely. Later. Okay, yeah, this is where we're headed. Wall! And actually, real quick, I am going to bump up the volume a little bit for you guys, because I know some of you guys, actually quite a bit of you guys, were asking for that, so I'll go back. Let's kick that up one more notch. And hopefully this is not too loud. Hopefully it doesn't overpower my mic or anything. Because I am very picky about audio levels. I don't know if I've ever, I don't know if it's well, some of you guys definitely know that, but I don't know if all of you guys know that, because I've talked about it before in a couple of other videos, but not anytime recently. So if you're a new subscriber, then you might not know that, but I'm very picky about my volume levels and audio levels and things like that. Very, very picky about that kind of thing. This is definitely going to need some upgrading, though, before it feels super competitive. It doesn't quite feel as competitive as the 370Z did. I mean, it just depends on what kind of car you're looking for. The 370Z definitely felt lighter. It shifted quicker. Everything just felt more on point, I guess you could say. But this feels gruntier, obviously. More like it would rather smash its way through an area rather than weave around obstacles like the 370Z would. then again, it's a muscle car. That's what it was made for. Oh, God. Did you see him cut in front of me? Did you see that guy cut in front of me? Because I sure as hell did. This is where it reminds me of Test Drive Unlimited 2. Because I'm not really... You guys saw, I have my hand up here. I'm not really even having to steer that much. I just kind of point the car in the direction and floor it. Another person changing lanes in front of me. It's like they don't know you're there. Like they don't even take you into account. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Made it through there all right. Uh-oh, 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 oh, God. Weaving through traffic, not too bad. So we're now in the Midwest, making good progress. And actually, I remember something I wanted to talk about. Frank, or EK Drifter 458, said in one of his videos on the crew that the map wasn't as big as he thought it was going to be. And I don't know. I mean, I obviously knew that it was going to be scaled down. It wasn't going to be actual size. Because making a game world of the actual size US would take so much processing power, so much everything, really. It would take, like I said, so much processing power, so many man-hours to actually get it right, and oh God, I've missed a turn. Glad I realized that before driving off into the distance somewhere. Anyway, that would just be so incredibly difficult and so incredibly just massive as a project that I feel like it would be a little bit, I don't know, if for current technology, it might be a little bit of a reach, but for future technology, I don't quite think so. But also, it would mean that it would take you a really long time to drive across the entire in-game world. And I feel like they made the right choice with the crew of not trying to make the map, you know, even anywhere close to actual size. Because if they even attempted to do that, the game would have had to have been so... the world would have been very bland. They wouldn't have been able to put that much detail into individual areas of the world, because if they did, it would just overload the game. And I feel like they've kind of got the perfect size. Okay, get yourself back on the road. They've kind of got the perfect size for the game, in my opinion. It's not too crazy, but then again, you know, it's not too small of a map either. It's definitely a nice size map. It's big enough that it's not, you know, that there's no complaint there, at least from me, as far as map size goes. But it's also not too big because, for example, let's use the game Fuel as an example. I think it's called, yeah, it was called Fuel. It was an off-road game, and it, for at least for its time, it had the largest open world environment of any open world game. Now that, whoa! Anyway, with that game having the most massive open world ever, kind of came with its drawbacks, and one of those was the quality wasn't that good. The quality kind of lacked a little bit because of the fact that the in-game world was so huge that they couldn't spend the extra time to put detail into it, and it would have just been an overload anyway, even if they had tried. Send part to HQ, give me control of my car back. I'd like to shift again, that'd be nice. Change down to 4th, get back into the power band. Still in the Midwest, making decent progress though. And I love how they have the effects of, like, of birds and of dirt being kicked up off the highway and things like that. It's little things like that that really make you know, or help you know, that they did focus on the details with this game. They did focus on making it somewhat polished, even though that's really hard to do for a massive open world game. I mean, and I think that the level of detail that they have is more than satisfactory for a game of its type. Slow down, brake! Oh boy, the 370Z has much better brakes, that's for sure. Oh god. Reached the East Coast for the first time. Alright, sweet. I wonder if all of this beta stuff will carry over to the full game. That'd be sweet if it did. It really would be. Because then I'd have, 2 new cars to start off the game with and things like that. I highly doubt they'd do that, but, I mean, I don't know. It depends. I'm also still kind of not totally set on what system I'm going to be playing the game more on. I know I'm going to be buying it for probably... I know I'm buying it for the PC, and I'll probably be buying it for the Xbox One a little bit later as well. But I'm not sure what I'm going to be putting the majority of my time, or my game time into. It probably is going to be the PC, because on the PC, it's a lot easier to record things like face cam, like you see here, and it's a lot easier to get online games together. It's a lot easier, just a lot easier to set up everything, because on the PC, you've got so many ways to do things that you're not limited by a console. Consoles are, while they are good, they're very plug and play. They can give you entertainment right out of the box. They're not as, they're not, in my opinion, as effective with gaming over the long run as a PC is, because consoles are very, very restrictive. And people that don't really play PC don't really understand how restrictive consoles can actually be. And, oh boy, having to weave a little bit. Oh no. Yeah, that, I kind of bounced off one car and then hit the Camaro, and yeah, that was that. Come back to HQ for repairs. Not quite. Not quite yet, my friend. Dang, Camaro pulling out in front of me. What? Oh my god, they're pulling out everywhere. Is that my car, or is that somebody else's car? Because my starter shouldn't be going crazy right now. I'm driving. Wow, getting a little bit of an FPS drop. I think it's got something to do with the amount of crazy shadows going on right now from these trees. Because we weren't getting any frame drop before. Oh, God. Well, that went well.